the family office, we've talked about this before. It's been around forever for the ultra net worth, right? People have said I have a family office, and I just think that one of the things that seems to have changed in the industry is what started as a traditional family office has now morphed into, I would say, I don't know, greater than half the time that I hear someone say I'm a part of family office, they're actually talking about a really almost like a private equity fund, a place in which all of them get together, bring their private deals, they do it together, and that's awesome. Maybe they throw on the word multi and call it a multi-family office. But that is very different than what we're doing here.
Right. I always like to define the family office because I agree it's a very broad industry and it's a big catch-all. A lot falls underneath it. So when we think about the fractional family office and what that looks like, I like to step back to that single family office model, if you will. So in the single family office, you have an organization that is set up to handle wealth management, to handle investment evaluation, decision-making, oversight.
Yep.
There's family governance, risk management, philanthropy, legacy planning, and estate planning, tax management. I mean, the concierge services, the list goes on and on.
Bookkeeping. I mean, it's all of it.
All of it, right? The beauty of the fractional family office is that it's bringing all of those services, all of those offerings, and really bringing it to an accessible level for a lot of our clients. Our clients that we're dealing with, even though they may not be multi-billionaires, they still have a lot of the same complexity that those people are dealing with. And so bringing it down to a level where it is really accessible, scalable, and customizable to what's relevant to them and their fact pattern, I think is what's so beautiful about the fractional family office. The other piece of it that I think is really beautiful is the way that those clients can bring their providers to the fractional family office. A lot of times you referenced a multifamily office. A lot of times in those setups, you've got one provider serving 4 or 5 families. You get egos, you get administration, you get oversight. I mean, it becomes a burden in and of itself to run that family office, and you're leaving behind your history to be able to go do that. Here, you bring your history with us. We value that history. We love that history. We know that informs the way that you're going to operate. As a family, we want to come alongside them and embrace that.
One of the first things, it sounds like you want to communicate to a client that is exploring this, is let's separate the term multi-family office or single-family office from fractional.
Yes.
Because if I'm someone out there saying, gosh, that sounds good to have a lot more help. Sounds good to have someone doing all the things either I'm trying to do and not doing well, or I try to do and I don't have the expertise, or effectively like I just don't have the time. But you're saying you got an uncle that has been your accountant for 20 something years. In the fractional design, you don't have to fire them to work.
You don't have to fire the uncle. Bring the uncle, right? We'll help you.
That's our new slogan.
Bring the uncle.
Fractional family office. Bring the uncle.
No, you don't have to fire the uncle. We'll help evaluate. Do we think that your uncle is doing a great job, that he's actually serving you well? We hope that he is. If you've got a gap and there's people or professional providers that you need that you don't have today, we've got a vetted list of relationships that we are happy to bring along and make a recommendation for whoever we think is the right fit for you. But we're happy to work with the providers like your uncle that are in your pattern today.